Hello, everyone. This is Thomas Pepin NHL Talk. I'm Thomas Pepin, and let's play some NHL. Continuing the franchise mode series where I've taken over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We are on Season 7, Episode 4. Over halfway through the season. I'm hoping we'll be able to finish the regular season or get close to it. And yeah, not really too much to update. We got rid of Vrana last episode, traded away some assets to get a young guy. We're starting to get to the point where our depth is too much. What's a good way to demonstrate? I guess let's do it this way. So we have two guys in the juniors. We've got three lines that are more or less stacked. And the problem is that this coach does a three-line rotation. Fourth line doesn't get played much. So there's no point in having good players on your fourth line. Maybe one as kind of a replacement to move up onto the third line if there's any injuries. And then maybe even a second, but they would both be guys that you get in the free agency for cheap. That wouldn't be all that important. They'd just be little fill-ins. So really, we're overstocked by two positions. Well, up front at least. On D, I mean, maybe we could get some young guys, but I don't think there's that great of stuff out there. But anyways, so you substitute Kucherov, add in one of the junior guys, and we're pretty much dead on. The thing is, though, is part of the strategy is to pick up free agents because you don't have to spend assets to get them. And then you can use those assets that you got for free to rebuild your asset pool. So I would argue that we are, well, if you get rid of Kucherov, add in two players, we're still basically one position overfilled. So so we're going to need to figure that out as we go along. There might be people that don't re-sign. Well, like Hughes, for example, might be too expensive. Some of our other young guys, once they get done their entry level, I don't know what they're going to ask for their, first regular contract. So we're probably okay because somebody's probably going to ask for too much, but if they don't, then we're going to have too much, more or less. So I think, I think a good way to kind of structure it would be so we have two more guys. Basically, I think two extra guys is too much. One's probably, so one young guy is optimal, and then one guy like Pajot or something like that. You could even do two guys like that. So you add in those two young guys. We've got two too many. I would probably argue, and then you'd have like Kucherov. Yeah, maybe even three too many, because from free agency, I'd want to get two decent guys, so two guys like Kucherov or something like that, assuming you can get them for a good price, but because then you have those two guys that you can eventually turn into other assets. So Anyway, so we'll figure that out. It's better to have more than less. It's just to optimize your assets. That's a different story. So, anyways, not much more to say, and we might as well get going. Maintenance is supposed to come up soon. Parking lot we're going to need to upgrade instead of repair. These are all good. That can't go lower. Nolan's still in. Now I forget if it's now we're supposed to do the maintenance. Yes. Okay. Now, I think it's only the one. Yeah, because the rest we want 40 or just below 40, so I think those are all still too high. This one we can do. Upgrade. 32 days, holy jeez. The away stretch is not going to be that long, but I think it's kind of close. Why did it dip so much? See our sales went in half. It makes no sense. Because we just had another win too. Like it does that when you lose, but we didn't, so I don't get it. And we also probably have our scouting coming up soon, 4 games. I just have to double check that what's his face is still, he's not in, and he's supposed to be. So we're 9-0-1 in our last 10. Not bad. So now we're over 3 times wins versus losses. That is pretty good. Okay, back to back. I think both teams are bad, but I don't. Arizona might be better. So Arizona's better of the two. So that means Nolan plays game 1. Those are all away games. Wrist sprain. Return February 10. Ooh, what do we do with this? I think we're gonna go like this. This is headache. Sleeping. Oh, why did it go to him? Headache. Sleeping. Maybe I should adjust the lines. Put Hughes here. Courtnall here. That's better. Hopefully I won't forget to switch that back. That's it. Yeah. I think it said, what was it, February, is it 10 or 15? So it's only, well, I mean, half a month is something, or a third of a month, whatever it is. Still away. Oh, we must be at the, I think, 50 game mark. No, one more. $35, 10, and 5. It's getting close to, I think, our best record at this point, or this number of games. Well, that was quick. Yes, so I need to undo those changes. So Slavin, how's Hag doing? Not very well. But we kept winning, so can't complain too much. So this is Slavin. Morrissey. Slavin. Hughes. Morrissey. Courtnall. Morrissey. So we're supposed to scout. Oh! And we gotta do our trades before the deadline. When is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we do get another 10 game sample size too if we want to sign more people. So then, well, let's scout first, and then we'll evaluate performance and make trades, probably. Defunk. Oops. Oh, wrong one. Oops. What's this potential in comparison? Again, we're not going to be drafting anybody, but I still go through the motions. Okay, let's just save that. All right, let's see where we're at. That's pretty good. I don't know if that's enough of a sample size. That's all right so far. It's good. This thing. Good. This thing. Good. Don't know. Wow, good. Good. 9. So no longer good enough. Good. I feel like it changed the order of everybody. Yeah, it did. Who didn't I see? 17 and 22. That's a lot of goals. I think I'll leave him. 1 and 7, not good. Now we're supposed to wait really till 10 games before evaluating, but close enough. Okay, so I think that's enough. Somebody with enough spots in most of the players that they're interested in. Can we do... Oh. Yeah, we should do them together because I know one of the other two guys is a green. We can do the trade. Good. All right, what are we trying to get here? Let's try this. No, okay. So then we will upgrade this pick to, we do a third? Don't even have a third. Fourth and a fifth. guess you're not a good partner because we would go for a third, I think. Okay. Now I can't remember the rest. There's 1, 2. Well, nobody wants that second guy, so somebody who wants him has 2 spots. Let's try this, maybe. Okay, so then we'll try a 4th. And upgrade to no 3rd because you don't have a 3rd. Maybe go with this instead. For a 3rd. This guy. Sweet. So all that we've upgraded to a third. I mean, it's not much, but well, basically, so we turned a sixth into a third from trading away guys that we signed who underperformed. So, I mean, it seems like it's not important, but it is in the end. Because like I've said before, we lose on every trade. And if you think of the difference between a third and a sixth in every trade, accumulated over all the trades and stuff like that, we're pretty close to getting to even, something like that. All right, and then we need to sign new guys to fill those vacant spots. What do we need? Wasn't he 81 overall for the season? I could have sworn he was 81. Did he just like rocket up some crazy amount? That's nuts. I'm nearly certain it was 81. In which case, I think I would be crazy to make him play another junior year. He's at 52 points in 33 games. Huh. How did that happen? Anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, one forward-ish. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One forward, one D. We've got 4 spots, so basically 2 and 2. How are these guys doing? He's doing good. Still kind of mediocre. He's winning, but his save percentage is not very good. I guess it's just his first season. We'll leave it. And he hasn't played. So anyways, 2 forwards, 2 D. That's what we need. And how are we going to do this? Oops. He's not bad. Oh, wait, weren't we gonna... do this? Where did all these players come from? I don't get it. Because I thought this was supposed to take place in December, and it was only for entry-level guys. None of these guys were here before. Well, I guess we'll go for him too. Those are good stats. Then we need 2D. It's gonna have to be somebody we just saw. Do we go down to 76 overall? That's not bad. Oh, but you're, whatever. I guess we'll have to go with somebody we've had before. Guess that's close enough. Cool, so that's that. Save. Okay, and we're back. Cool. 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 And more cool. Can I... Who is it that we have scratched? I think it's Leeson. So this is only to shake up the AHL roster so that they can correctly edit their lines. Now I hope Leeson doesn't get claimed. I don't think he will, though. I don't think anything's going to happen here either. It shouldn't. Cool. Okay, so that's what we wanted. I don't know what our winning streak is right now, but I think it's at like 8 games or something. It probably says on the save screen. Nolan Pessinen. Yeah, 9 games. Not bad, you could say. There's a loss, finally. They didn't want to give us that 10 in a row. That was away, right? Yeah. So we're finally back at home. But that was an away game. Jeez. The amount of wins we've been getting lately, that's crazy. 38, 11, and 5. Pretty stellar. Okay, 32 and 22. So Pessinen game 1. And Nolan game 2. So that was a home game, so it means we need to check this, and all those are good. Hey, one thing, just something I clued into. Remember that our schedule, all those wins that we've been putting together in a row, those were all away games. You're not supposed to win that many away games. So, I mean, it's a video game and whatever, so it's quite possible we lose. Oops, wrong thing. It's quite possible we lose some home games more than away games, but in theory, you're supposed to win more home than away. And if we've won that much away, then geez. We are in good shape. think one thing that's helped is we haven't really had too many injuries. Maybe the game's waiting until the playoffs to give us all that. Would be annoying. I got to change because we're on a back-to-back. So always the lesser goalie in the rotation against the stronger team, higher goalie against the weaker team. You hope for a win with the stronger team, and you expect to win with the weaker team. Always get points in the bag. That's my rule. We'll see. 6-0 shutout win against the harder team. They weren't that great of a team, but still. Where was I at? So that's 5 and 1. Okay. And now it's back to Nolan. And we should be pretty close to 60 games now, I think. Oh, really? We're that far? I thought we were closer. Hey, it's funny. So we're supposed to get a win on the second game against the weaker team, but we lost. But we got the win against the harder team. So, hey, sometimes you get something out of what you were expecting to get nothing from. Parking, we can now jack back up. I'll do that before I forget. So jack it up to 51. Let's do 52. 65. That is 149, 269, 375, 501. Nolan hasn't had 2 losses in a row, I don't think. I'll have to double check. So again, if you haven't seen before, 2 losses in a row puts you at the back of the rotation. We have 3 goalies in rotation. So 2 losses in a row or 2 losses in 3. So the answer is no, that's just 1 loss. So he's okay. Was okay. So Nolan goes to the back, and we have to do our maintenance soon. Very soon. Now, essentially, but we've got mostly home games, at least at the moment. So maybe after this game we can do the maintenance. It's as good as we're going to get, really, in terms of a stretch. So yeah, we'll do our maintenance after this game. Okay. Good. Okay, so how much can we jack this up? Let's try that. And that. Okay, any injuries? No. And so Nolan finally goes to the back of the rotation. Pestinen comes up. Thompson now is back up. It'll be interesting to see if any of these goalies hold the net, because Nolan's been our standout. Actually, let's just look briefly at his stats here. Oops. Oh, his save percentage has slipped a lot. Winning percentage still great, but 916, Pessinen went up, and his winning percentage went up, 910. Thompson 912, winning percentage is basically the same. So looks like more or less all goalies are on their game now. Small sample size for these other two, but Nolan's doing great. Oh, I was going to pause and take a look at this. Maybe consider adjusting the lines. So Hughes, Ollie, Kucherov still line one. Courtnall, I think, has improved. Gomez looks like he's dipped, and Von Fersen has gone up. So maybe we'll adjust that. It's Gomez's rookie year, so I'm not surprised if there's a bit of up and down. Martins, man. See, the problem, like, his goals are fantastic. He's at like half a goal a game. Like, not quite, but close enough. Points are still, relatively decent. The problem is his line fit for second line's not very good. I mean, he's not quite. What's his ice time? 22 goals in 13 minutes of ice time. He's played on our first line before. What if we moved him up? But to skip him over on first and based on goals, it's actually reasonable. So maybe what we'll do is Martins goes on line one. Kucherov goes down a line. What's the fits for these guys? So definitely better on line one, but could play line two. Massively better on line one. But Ollie's produced. Look at those goals for that first line. 22, 31, and 21. All from the first line. That's crazy. And we're not even done the season and they're at that high. And Martins is getting 22 goals. at 57 games playing on the third line. That's nuts. What do we do then? I'm pretty sure Von Person can go up to the second. It just sucks that Martins can't. There's nobody else really that goes anywhere else. Well, what's Kucherov's trade value? Because previously it was quite low. Has it changed? No. So to trade him would be a bad idea. I think he's got more value playing than... And then our depth isn't going to be good enough. Okay. So let's just do a quick and easy switch. Power play, what happens here? I wonder if Martin's gotten his points on the power play. He's got 7 of his goals on the power play. 14 of his points are on the power play. So maybe playing with those top guys is really making a difference. And I did that intentionally, I guess, for one, to put him on the first line, and second, to put him in the forward positions to give him a shot at the net because he's got such good accuracy. So it's kind of paid off. So Von Fersen and Gomez. Gomez is a sniper. I think Von Fersen is as well. 92 versus 92. Von Fersen. Oh, he's a left and Gomez is a right. So actually, that structure I want to keep the same just for handedness. Von Fersen would, because of the structure here, actually I think Von Fersen's going to go up. It's not ideal to have 3 lefts in the forward positions. Well, I mean 1D, but towards the net. But yeah. So Ollie Hughes, Chushkin, Courtnall, Kucherov, and this time Von Fersen. I'm glad to see Von Fersen and Nichushkin playing better because we signed them for such long terms. Good, reasonable contracts, but I wanted them to pan out. And I gave them assistant captains for signing those contracts. Oh, Grolu's improved his overall, which is good. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I was at extra lines, and then goes that. This changes. And then this goes to Gomez. And that's correct. Okay, and then maintenance. I have to remember to do that now. I mean, what am I complaining about? It's not so frequent that this happens. It is substitute in all lines, so that's good. Makes it quick and easy. Okay, maintenance. Pepin 1, that's good. Okay, so we got a whole bunch to do. So club seats, repair, lower bowl, repair. We need to allocate more money. Upper bowl, repair. I guess I need to put like $1 million in there. Executive suites, and this is good timing too, because our maintenance level through the playoffs is going to be pretty good, which means we're going to sell more, well, better value tickets, so higher prices and all that stuff. Pretty much everything getting repaired. And that looks all good. That was a home game. 1, 2. Parking. What? Went to 0. Let's do that. Let's see which one's the weaker one. They're basically the same. So I guess technically game 2, so that means we'll go with Thompson game 1. That's already good. Thompson hasn't played forever. 7-5 win. It's a win. And then it's an away game. How long is Slade been out? May? That's 2 months. Should we get another D? Because I don't think we have a good enough AHL D. We'll have to take a look. Well, he'll be in for the playoffs, so really that's all that matters. But still, we kind of want to have some sort of backup plan. I don't know if I noticed before that Grillo was elite. Oh yeah, we want this one. 78, 10 points and 18 is pretty good. 30 and 54 is quite good. This guy played poorly last season, and now he's almost at a point per game. 37. So actually everybody's quite decent. Better than I expected in the AHL. 8 and 12, that's good. 4 and 12, we can trade him. 5 and 12, we can trade him. Gleason, we don't know. So we would be okay with these guys on D. It's just slightly concerning. 78 D man. I wonder if there's any two-way. I've never really tried to use that before, but I thought it was worth a shot. So I've never really used this either. It's not going to give us enough, is it? Because what I care about right now is I want a two-way defenseman at about 80 overall. But it doesn't tell me that. Can we find it quickly? We should be able to, as long as it locks in on this screen. It does. So we can't go with him because he's on an expiring contract. Same with him. Well, I guess really it doesn't matter if it's a two-way contract because they would probably get claimed anyways. Nah, well, I don't know. Would you get claimed with an 80 overall? It's hard to say. On forward, no. On D, it almost seems like it would. Because a lot of these teams don't have many guys above 80. This team's deep. Two-way, no years. Is he even playing right now? He's not even playing? He's sitting out because he's not getting the contract he wants. That's wild. Is he good? That's crazy. Because I think he was asking for like 4 million or something. How did he play previously? Not bad. don't think I would pay him $4 million, would I? What's his top 4Ds potentially? If it was elite, I might actually try to pull off a trade. And I even could right now because I have the cap space and his trade value is not that high. Lindstein. I'm going to write that down because this is an interesting one where I might get an asset for super cheap because he's unsigned. And I could actually show... I don't know if... No, it would turn out being a one-way contract, so then no, we wouldn't be able to move him up and down. Well, in that case, actually, then we shouldn't even go for him. Because it's the up and down that's important, not getting a guy. Wait, though. Wait. I got an idea. Because if we have a scratched forward and that scratched forward can go up and down, why don't we just keep two scratched D? And then if we need to pull up a forward, we can. I like that idea. I think that makes more sense because then we're not at risk of losing a guy. We eliminate that risk. Genius. I'm a genius. Okay, so then we do potentially want him because that was super cheap. So in terms of his trade value, that was Montreal Lindstein or something like that, or Lindstein or Lindstein. Montreal. So we'll revisit that because we might be able to get away with a third pick or a third pick and like some random stuff. Or we trade away a few guys and then get another pick and then package 2 picks to get them and then sign them right away because we can afford it. But then what would we do with the rest of our guys after the season? But we could always just figure that out later. See, the problem is the cap hit. We have about 10 million though. And what's he asking for? How come he's not showing up? Or is he not eligible to play or something? I don't know. I won't think about it too much because we can always just trade for him. So, I'm pretty sure I saw something like 4 million. That's what he was asking for. Well, worst case we get him and then we sign him for whatever he asks for and then we trade him. Okay. Oh, and we want to see that. So again, right now I don't really need to look for the two-way thing, but I still, out of interest, want to see if there's anything like that. So here's one, but he has an expiring contract, so let's, I know, mind you, I'm trading for a guy on an expiring contract, but his trade value is super low. Who's this? Oh, 1 year. So this is a guy we've thought about getting before, but it says that he's not loyal though. And I don't want to pick up a guy that's going to be fussy about contracts. And I mean, I don't know for sure that's going to be the case, but it seems so far when the character thing says that they're fussy, that they turn out being fussy. All right, so well, we can't trade for him quite yet, but that's what we're going to target. And first, we're going to trade away the underperforming AHL guys. Oops. So Myers was 1. Three and 7. 25's good. So Sissons has dipped. I should adjust that 4th line. So that is close enough to being it. Anybody of any value besides Vrana? No. So let's add one more guy. What can we get? third, a fourth, two-thirds, let's change it to just a third. No way. Fifth and a seventh. Fourth. Really? Fifth? Finally. Okay, so now we should be able to pull off that trade, but we're still going to get rid of, I think there was a couple more guys. Eight and 13, is that good enough? No. Oh, this changed again. I think this might be the only guy. I guess so. Oh, and in which case then what we'll do is use it to move up to a fourth with someone who wants both. Well, we'll try a third. That's why you try it. Okay. So that clears up space 42, 13, and 5. I should have went the other direction. Okay, so now let's get this guy. I don't know exactly what the situation is going to be once we trade for him. How we can sign him. It says he doesn't fit. I say we just go for him anyways. See what happens. Third. So 2/3. Man, that Seattle pick is just tanking. Oh, and we have still some picks from this season that I gotta sort out. Well, the Seattle one can't get worse, so there's no point in trading it now. And then Calgary, we'll just package that in the draft. So let's go, let's go these two for Lindstein, Lindstein, and a fifth. Let's try more than that just in case, and a third. What? Okay. So that means I didn't even really need to use one of the thirds or something. I don't know exactly how that worked, but it did. And I'm not going to think too much about it. I think technically I probably could have asked for more, but I wouldn't have expected that. So we will save. Now we have to figure out what is this situation with this guy. Like, can he play? What exactly is going on? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. What are we? Oh, we're in that screen. So let's do this first. So we're going to switch. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, I think it's because the guy's injured right now. I'll still make sure anyways. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so then we're going to send down Sissons. Do that no matter what. Replace him with Leeson. Oh, Sissons was playing on the penalty kill? I didn't realize. I guess I put him there. Can Leeson play? I don't think so. No. And then McLeod. Should I? Does he block shots? Good enough. Okay, so that's done. Now let's see what is the story with the guy we just got. So he's been tendered. So he can't play. So it was kind of a waste to trade for him, but still not really, because we can use him eventually. And again, we can always sign him eventually when we can sign him and trade him. Okay, so then in that case, we need to go through with the strategy I was saying before. So we're going to carry 2D. Scratched. So we need somebody that's super cheap, both in cap hit and trade value. Even like, you know what, even cap hit's not critical. It's more trade value than anything. Tyson Berry. 1 year, $6 million. All power play, all penalty kill. Professional, loyal, high desire to win. Interesting. We could trade for him. It'd be nice to know how long that injury's for. That's like super cheap trade value. I don't really want to spend that much though. Because it's a video game, it's not real money, but in real life, to justify that to an owner, it would be very difficult. Because maybe a $6 million insurance policy for your Stanley Cup run. Maybe it is easy to justify. And wasn't what's-his-face, the guy that just recently signed with Toronto in real life, wasn't he super cheap to get? And I can't remember where he was, though. So far, Barry is by miles the cheapest. Oops. Okay, let's just make sure I didn't miss anything. Gosta Spears, another decent one. Ooh, I might like him more. All penalty. Based on the way he's described, maybe not. There he is, Klingberg. So he's deteriorated down to 7.3 million, and he's 79 overall. No, thank you. So it looks like Tyson Berry's gonna work. So that's what we'll do. We'll trade. What will we trade? We have the third pick for Barry and a fourth. Would they do it? I can't believe that actually worked. So technically we won the trade, and I think it's because they just wanted to unload. But for us, that's, like I said, it's an expensive insurance policy, but it's a good insurance policy. Because now if we have 2 defensemen injured, we've got another serviceable defenseman. Is he is not sent to the AHL, so then... Oh, but he's injured though. So, so we have our insurance policy is injured. That's funny, but actually, let's see how injured he is. March 12th, so not far away. So, sweet. I am certainly happy with that. Okay, so we'll save. And then next, do we even bother signing guys? Because filling up roster spots for nothing makes, like, they're not even going to get played depending on our depth. So let's just see what our depth is right now. Because if we have the right numbers for forwards and defense in the AHL, then we're not going to bother. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we need 2 forwards, and then that means probably no defense. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so we have to sign 2 forwards just for depth. Guess we'll go with him. Did we filter? We didn't filter to forwards. No. Checked him. He's pretty good. Let's go with him. Okay, so that fills the spots. Should we get... So we have 9 now. Let's just go for one more. Jansen Harkins. What a head of hair. And just for that reason, we're going to sign him. But no, actually, his performance was decent too. So we'll get him. Yeah, we'll stop there for signings. I think both of those were away games, weren't they? It's annoying when you press the button down and it doesn't register. So I think Pessinen's still in net. So I have a feeling we're not going to sell out for season tickets, in which case, actually, you know what would not be a bad idea is if we, so currently we're at 2% general marketing, 98% season tickets, and why don't I try going 1 in 99? And then if we don't sell out, then next season we just go 1 in 99 again and see what happens. Well, not again, as in we just extend it, because 2 in 98 didn't get us sellout. So maybe one more percentage might be enough. Oh, and just in case you've never seen before, the reason we minimize is because anything higher than the minimum for sure doesn't result in selling all the season tickets, and season tickets are such a critical revenue source that you absolutely need to sell them out. And it's better to sell them out at a lesser price than just not sell them out. So, yes, we do want to do this. Cool. Change ourselves to a seller. No, who cares about the trade deadline? We already did our stuff. There's no more to be done. I think that was an away game. Yeah. Huh? Oh, goalie situation. Yeah, I knew you wouldn't like this. Well, I don't care. You're worried about our goalie situation, and we're 43, 13, and 5. Like, just you quiet yourself there, owners. 3 Stanley Cups in 6 seasons, 5 President's Trophies. If you're not happy, fire me, and I'll make your competitors better than you. I'm not all that concerned. Okay, so I said that was an away game, right? I'm distracted on my feistiness towards my boss. Pessinen's supposed to be in. Oh, and I wanted to briefly look at this. Oh, and I think I forgot to do... I think I need to do scouting. Yeah, I'm due for scouting. I really don't need to, because we already know all the information and we're not drafting anybody. So is it really worth it? Is it worth it? That's a good question. You know what? I'm not going to waste my time. We already know enough about the guys and we're not drafting anyway, so who cares? Kraken are back in first place in their division. I mean, so there's not much of a gap. They could easily move to out of a playoff spot, but how annoying whenever we have the first overall pick, it seems to be like this. Or first round pick. Yeah, I didn't need to do anything else, I don't think. That was a home game. I don't know if all this is done now. It is, which is sweet. So that means we should have full sellouts. Let's try that. Just wrong way. Let's try that as well. Owner happened to see a dip for that very brief moment when I didn't hit that one goal, the primary goal, to upgrade on goalie, but I mean, whatever. And then we won, what, like 6 straight? You better, well, stop giving me stupid goals for the first thing. And second thing, good that you're recognizing that whatever I'm doing is working, so quit complaining. Trust the GM. I am a genius. That's good news, except we're not playing them. So we're 8-2-0 in our last 10. Fan happiness is 98. That's pretty darn high. So Pessinen game 1, Thompson game 2. So even our second and third goalies are on a roll right now. So kind of sucks in a sense because, well, I mean, it doesn't suck, but sucks for Nolan because he was playing so good and now he's not playing at all. Okay, so that went down. Let's go back one. Because it was a sellout one below. Let's adjust this so that's 74. The other thing was 54, I believe. tickets. Let's try that. Oh, wait, were we... Yes, we're on the back-to-back. So I need to have Pepin in... So I don't think we'll finish the regular season. No, we won't. Because we've got like 5 minutes left. And that's actually okay, because then we'll have build up to the playoffs rather than just starting the stream with the playoffs like I've had before, where it's like, I mean, it could be over in the first round, so you have all this build up and then it's done so quick. So I think it's better this way. Okay, so that was a way. I'll still try to get as close as possible these next few minutes. Maybe up to... Oh, I have to kind of review things too. Or, I mean, I should review things. Just where we're at in the standings and all that stuff. So yeah, let's just do it after this game. Another win. 47, 13, and 5. So wait, so almost 4 times our wins versus losses? Is that good? I don't know. I should just do this to make sure I can immediately start simming next stream. Save, and then we'll recap. I mean, you already heard me say where we're at for wins, which is, I really do genuinely think that the adjustment to an offensive coach is going to pay massive dividends. Actually, on that note, how has our winning impacted our new coach? Because he was low overall. So how has this developed him? So I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that his ratings were Bs for offense and defense. And very shortly, with experience points, he's going to be A's for both those. Our power play is one of the best, I think, well, it was the best in the league, so that's got to be moving up quickly too. Penalty kill, I don't know for sure. Teaching was already good. Coach influence needs to improve. I'd like that to be an A- at the least. So, yeah, that is pretty sweet. Chemistry could be better, but it's not bad. 76 is reasonable. Yeah, so he has developed actually, and pretty quickly, because this is just one season. We've got him for 8 years at whatever million. So our spending compared to what's available for coach spending is super low. Even paying an associate coach I think it's like 2.6 million or something. So we are we're like locked in as an outstanding team for like more or less 8 more seasons. A lot can change with just people who are willing to sign and not willing to sign, and cap space and stuff like that. Because we haven't quite gotten to the point where we have all of our entry-level guys wanting to, having their entry-level contracts expire and wanting to sign with us for reasonable amounts. We've never had like a full roster of young players under contracts. So once that happens, I don't know exactly how I'm going to navigate spending. But so this is where, the whole point of me doing this series on YouTube, not this one, but the other one that I'm just about to talk about, was to come up with a good strategy. So I forget the name of the series. Building the perfect roster or something like that. You can see it on the channel homepage if you see a title similar to that. So it was developing a management strategy for NHL GMs, and the thing, so I already have, at least in the back of my mind, a general idea of how much I'm supposed to spend per player for every single position. So first line, forwards, second line, third line, defense, first, second, third. And so, and on top of it, we haven't run into the situation where I actually need to pay too close of attention. But I already kind of know that we're in great shape. So, and basically just the number of years we've had with the inflation on the cap, because what we started, I think the game started at 82 million, if I'm not mistaken, because I think that's what it is this past NHL season in real life. So it's inflated by 16 million, and we're more like, our spending is more or less still back at that 82 million. Obviously not, because we're spending 90 million, it's saying here, but from what we would actually be able to put together with what we have and what we could get rid of. So for example, a substitute Kucherov with one of these young guys at a similar cap hit or a lesser cap hit, or take that 7 million and distribute it between a bunch of players. Anyways, long story short, we're basically, even if these guys want to extend to good contracts, we're in great shape. Like, great examples, Nichushkin, and where's the other guy signed? Von Person. 6.2 and 5.3 for elite potential players, 86 and 85 overall respectively. Like, that is super, super cheap. Really good value, and we have both of them for 7 more years. Well, I think, is it 7 years including this season or not? I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter so much. But we have them long term, which is against my strategy in the series that I just spoke of. But in certain cases, it kind of makes sense, because like these guys translated into real life would be something like, what could you compare them to? Who's a decent player right now? Young and decent. Who's 23 and I don't know. Just off the top of my head, I'm not thinking of something right away. Like a Scott Laughton came to mind, but that's actually lower quality than these guys. What's the other guy in Philly? Couturier? Maybe something along those lines? I would argue these guys are kind of equivalent to that, and making I mean, these guys are younger than Couturier, I think, is in the league right now, because Couturier is what? Isn't he like 28 or something? But anyways, long story short, these guys are good value players, or sorry, good quality players at an extremely good value. So even under the worst of circumstances, but the whole point of the strategy is if somebody asks for too much, you trade them. Trade them when you own their rights. Get back an equivalent asset that you maybe need to develop, and then keep signing these kind of contracts. The guys that are willing to sign reasonable contracts. And over time, eventually, my prediction, assumption, is that we're going to keep eliminating those guys that are asking, oh, well, like another example, Ollie. He's going to be making 7.9. He's got 35 goals, 40 assists, 75 points in 65 games. And we've got him locked up for how many seasons? One, two, only 2. So, but that's because I didn't know how he's going to pan out. But in any case, that's still within my strategy because I said kind of approximately 3-year contracts. And the reason I did so short is because we retained his rights at the end, and then if he doesn't want to negotiate a good extension, then we just trade him. So, and yeah, like this guy, he's producing at the same rate as that Chubarov franchise player that we had before. Chubarov is getting paid 13.5, I think, with Seattle. And then this guy's getting paid basically half, like nearly half, and he's producing at the same rate. So there is never a good reason to sign a guy at an expensive contract because somebody's willing to accept less at the same performance. And this is probably very true even in real life. So it might be very difficult to find the guy. So you might get like... who's a guy that signed for peanuts? So a guy like Kyle Connor with Winnipeg signed for, I think it's like $7 million or something like that with the Jets when he was producing very good. And so what you would do is you would trade your who's a guy that asked for too much money? Kaprizov or something like that. So you trade him for Connor, save, what is Kaprizov? I think he's making like $9 million. You save $2 million and more or less get the exact same production. You might lose in the, you probably won't even lose in the trade because the people are going to want that guy with the slight edge in performance, in production, whatever. So you're still even likely to get a good trade. And this is even in real life. Again, it might not be as simple as I make it out to be because, I've never tried to trade in real life for an NHL franchise, but it's got to be true in concept. Like, why wouldn't it be? And then worst case, you lose in the trade exactly as I do in this game. But in the long run, you just build this really good franchise that people want to play on. You sign free agents. If they don't work out, you trade them. That's how you build your assets back. And you just keep going through that rotation. Anyways, it makes tons of sense to me. But so that's that stuff. Which wasn't what I was planning to necessarily talk about, but okay, so let's see where we sit in the league. Obviously, first place. And in this, look at how much this is. So this is our best season yet from a points percentage perspective. It's a lot of P's. Our best ending point was 75%. So we would have to maintain this or, well, potentially even increase it by season's end for it to be our best season, but we're on track for it. There's no reason why we wouldn't. We just added Tyson Barrie as our 8th defenseman, and we still have cap space, and we got him at some stupid, not good value contract. Talk about being in good shape. So, and look at this, like we've got 3 games in hand over the 2 teams directly below us. 1 game in hand versus the team that could get closest to us, but they'd be at 85 in the same, or wait, sorry. No, we have a game in hand. So we would be potentially at 101 versus 83. Like what? Pretty unreal results. And I especially have to pat myself on the back. I haven't owned this game since the NHL 14. I've tested this out for 2 seasons before streaming this live, and you've already seen the results. 3 Stanley Cups in 6 years, 5 President's Trophies. Clearly going to get a President's Trophy this season, so that's 6 for 7 President's Trophies. Who knows what's going to happen in the playoffs? Because I mean, it's a video game. I think sometimes it tilts the scales against you, and like you'll get a whole whack of injuries to prevent you from winning the cup. But you know, we're on track to potentially have a really good shot. I think it's our best team yet because of the coaching style where we play our 4th line less. By playing our 4th line less, we play our better players more, which should produce better results, which is why I actually wanted the offensive coach. So, and then in real life, just as a concept, offensive coach makes more sense to me. So long as you put defense and depth players that hold water and you just really maximize your goal scoring, I think that's kind of the strategy to perform best. Again, just my hypothesis, but anyways, in the game so far, at least in this season, it's playing out. I was applying it more or less in the previous seasons, just that not in full because we were using balanced coaches as opposed to offensive coaches. So, anyways, so to reiterate, wow for the points percentage. I wasn't even expecting that because, yeah, I see all the wins coming in, but until you actually see like a clear stat, it doesn't really drive home, come home. Anyways, so goals for, clearly I'm not surprised we're the best by 0.3, which is pretty substantial. Goals against per game, we are the lowest. That's ridiculous. So highest goals for, lowest goals against. Like, just think. So, because it's always been my strategy. If you go and you watch that whole series, it's a very long series. So, I mean, it would take a long time to go through. Because it's like 30 something episodes times an hour plus per. So it's probably something like 40 hours. But anyways, the whole strategy is to maximize goal differential, which should always produce an optimal team. So, because that's all it is. You want to outscore your competition consistently. And this indicates that that's what the team is doing. So, but just to be the best goals for, and the lowest goals against is kind of dramatic. Like, that's pretty extreme. So anyways, we've consistently throughout the season been 1.2 for our goal differential. I think last time I checked it was 1.22, and it remains at that, it seems, if I'm remembering correctly. So very, very, very good there. Our power play percentage has dipped. I think we were at 33%, but things always regress to the mean, so it will obviously come down to some sort of reasonable amount that's more representative. So, but we're still pretty much 8 percentage points ahead of the next best team, which is, again, pretty substantial. I don't try to optimize power play or penalty kill. It's kind of just a bonus. But when you put together a good team, as a consequence, those should be good. So, and I'm interested to see, because we were middle of the pack for penalty kill, and we've moved up to what? Approximately, I think that's 11th or something like that. So that's good. We're moving up. That, I know we don't have an optimal setup there because we have so many offensive players and not enough defensive players. But again, it's all about goal differential. Penalty kill is not too critical, because what percentage of goals come on short-handed? Power play goals against, I think that's the number of goals against you, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it should be. So then that means we've had 26 of 169 goals against come on the penalty kill. So really, it's something like 20%. So it's important, but it's not really critical in my opinion. So that, you could argue, is kind of what hurts our goal differential. I mean, not to any massive degree, because it's a pretty big gap, but just as an argument against the strategy, that's something. But I don't think it's really relevant because, well, 76.2% of points available we've gotten. Like, come on. So anyways, and we might as well just briefly look at the player performance, because that Ollie one, as soon as I saw that kind of surprised me. 35 goals in 65 games. That's extremely good. Hopefully we'll be able to extend him. Maybe I should have done long term, but the problem was when I was negotiating, I'm pretty sure he was asking for slightly more than I would like, doing a longer contract. So I was willing to risk it and maybe not be able to extend him. We'll see. His performance is great, so he deserves a big contract, but hopefully he's going to be reasonable. Hughes again leading our team in points, and this time he's actually leading. So his number of points over number of games looks like it's on track to be his best season with us, pretty much. Plus 32 already. Unreal. What else? Kucherov still doing great. Hamilton basically gonna have his best season, pretty much. It'll be close. Somewhere around the 60-point mark. Courtnall, kind of after we get past our first line, I'm maybe being a bit too critical, but I want them to be at a point per game. I want our second line to be a point per game. That's very important, long term, that's the goal. We're still kind of building the franchise. I know it's 6 seasons, but to go from the previous Toronto Maple Leafs to this is a massive improvement. And then the next step is to make an improvement on this to whatever that turns out being. I don't know, because again, like I said, I haven't owned this game for so long. And I'm implementing this strategy I just came up with last NHL season. So I don't know what the end result's really going to be. I think it's all going to be great and positive, but I'm working on it still as we go here to see how it actually turns out. Again, it's a video game, but still in concept it should be similar principles. On the third line, 26 goals from Martins. The big reason why he's not playing on the second line, and he deserves to be there, is his line fit, which is unfortunately far too low. So, because you have to kind of adapt my real life, what would be my real life strategy to the game. In this case, you want to at least be similar to what the game's asking for to get the results that the game would produce when you follow its rules, basically. So, again, I don't know that. I'm trying it and it's working. So my assumption should be correct. Yeah, so pretty much, because it's Courtnall and Chushkin von first, and so Martins really actually does deserve to be on the second line because he's ahead in points now versus von Fersen. And this is where really I could do that adjustment where it wouldn't make sense to put Ollie down. It's just that Ollie's a better fit on the second line than Kucherov. So if I sent Kucherov to the second line, Martin's up to the first, and then Courtnall, Nichushkin, and von Fersen for... Wait, no. Courtnall, Nichushkin, and Kucherov, but then we don't have a centerman. But Courtnall could play center. We're kind of stuck. Ollie could play center on the second line. His face-offs are good enough. Yeah. So we might as well kind of keep it as it is because we've been playing so well. Gamble, how has he done since he's been with us? I haven't even checked recently. 16 and 25, not that great. Better than he was doing with Philly, though. Wild. 22 goals from a rookie, 18. Mind you, I think we got something like that out of Martins, too. We got him halfway through the season. But anyway, same sort of thing. Any other things to note? Morrissey's not that great. Haig hasn't done that great. Grill low. Long term's probably going to be great. It's his rookie season, so. Slavin, very low for him, so we could trade him in the off season. Clear up that cap space. So we'll figure out based on what people are, like if we're going to be extending people and all that. So yeah, we don't really need Morrissey, don't really need Slavin, and he's getting old. Well, both of them actually. Provorov is, I guess, getting there, but still young enough. Vrana is great. He's younger and extended. Hamilton's been great, so we'll just keep him around as long as we can. And goaltending. Might as well check that too. So Pessinen has dipped slightly, same with Thompson. Still close enough to where we want, and the winning percentage is the main thing. So, yeah, so that kind of covers it. Long-winded. I turned out spending like 20 minutes just reviewing. But I think a lot of interesting things, interesting discussion, things that I've spoke about in terms of applications of my strategy and all that kind of stuff, concepts that I'm working with. So hopefully it's beneficial if you care about that kind of stuff. And if you like franchise mode, you maybe should. Not that I know everything, but it's at least stuff to consider, I think. So anyways, so we will leave it there. If you like the stream, hit the like button, share with your friends. Subscribe, turn on notifications. The channel homepage has upcoming streams on regular NHL content. Nothing scheduled at the moment. Probably won't have for a couple weeks to a month. Waiting for the rest of the big NHL stuff to finish. For things that can't schedule ahead of time, like franchise mode, that schedule is in the About section of the channel. I have a temporary schedule for, I think it's like a week and a half is left of it, or a week, something like that. And for that schedule, you can see that, I think I just said, but I'll say again in the About section. And for Be a Pro, that's whenever I have time or I feel like it. Any comments, leave them in the comments. Suggestions likewise, and we will see you guys not tomorrow. I think tomorrow is off, and then we come back Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, but just check the About section, it'll tell you. Cool, so thanks for tuning in. Look at these Leafs. And we'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye.